Hello, I'm Matt from World of Ukes and I'm looking at 5 different tenor ukuleles today with a bit of a comparison. I had a customer today who wanted to try these specific 5 instruments and went away not quite sure that he knew which one he wanted. So I'm going to make a video because they're all here and ready and set up, and I thought I'd see what you think and if you could pick a favourite. The criteria for these is that it's sort of sensibly priced, so everything here at the time of making the video is under £300, and I wanted them to be solid top or all solid. So I'll go through each one in turn and I'll just tell you what I'm looking at and its current price, and then I'll do a little demo of that particular instrument. Once I've been through all the 5, I'll do some side-to-side comparisons at the end. So we'll start with the UK 15 ST, which is a satin finish acacia ukulele. The back and sides are laminate, but the top is solid. They've got fluorocarbon strings, 35mm nut, and yeah, these are quite reasonably priced at £169 at the moment. They come with a decent gig bag as well, and it's quite a nice one because, well, I think it's got a woody tone. Now, whether you'll agree with me or even understand what that means, I've often said they've got a woody tone. People don't really grasp what I mean, and then sometimes they or I play it and they go, oh yeah, I see what you mean, it's kind of woody. So this is the UK 15 ST. So it's just a quick sample of the UMA. I'll tell you what's next and I'll do a quick sample of that one, and at the end, remember, we'll have some side-to-side comparison so you can get a better feel of one to the next and which you prefer. The next one is the Anui Nui UT10, which is a solid spruce top tenor. Quite a green looking spruce, but yes, it's got a coloured top and a satin finish on top. These have a 36mm nut and fluorocarbon strings again. So while the top is solid, back and sides are laminate and comes with a really nice gig bag, and this one is 185. So we'll have a listen to this before we move to the next one. Third up is the Kai KTI 700, which has been a firm favourite here at World of Ukes for a number of years. It's brash, it's bold, it's bright and it's loud, and you get a lot of that too from this side sound port. This has been really popular with, well, people who like the look of this nice ukulele, and it's been popular with people who play in groups. Often if you're getting drowned out and you can't quite hear what you're playing, this one punches out so you can, well, I was going to say match those banjoleles, but that's maybe taking it a step too far. But certainly you can hear it pretty well, even in a banjolele environment. These come with an excellent gig bag too. It's got a solid cedar top, gloss finish, 35mm nut, fluorocarbon strings. The back and the sides are there laminate. Now, most people call this wood bacote. Now, I think it's pronounced correctly boyote, but it's one of those words where if you say boyote, people think either la-di-da or what on earth is he talking about, because everybody says bacote. So solid cedar top, laminate, bacote on the back and sides. So we'll have a listen to this one. So for some years, the Kai we've just seen was the most popular tenor ukulele in the sub £200 bracket here at World of Ukes, but a couple of things changed. One, sadly the price went up from £199 to £209, so it couldn't really claim that sub £200 title anymore. and also the arrival of the UK20 ST, which is the same price, 209. Now this one is all solid mahogany with a gloss finish and a wider nut at 38mm. So wider nuts getting more popular, or perhaps people are feeling the advantage of having a wider nut. I'm not a wider nut person particularly, but neither do I mind it. So the Uma is gloss finish, fluorocarbon strings, slotted headstock and a decent gig bag as well. So it's technically got better specification than the Kai. The Kai still goes well because, you know, and especially when people come to the shop, you know, it's pretty even if they're trying this one and the Kai, which one they'll go for. But certainly this one's put a cat amongst the pigeons in the popularity stakes. So the Uma UK20 ST next. The final one on the list is the Kai KTI 5000, which is an all-solid acacia ukulele. Again, it's got that side sound port. We've got 35mm nut and a slotted headstock and a good gig bag. This one is different to the others because it has nylon strings. Now, nylon strings have their fans. I'm not one of them particularly. The sound you get from a string, just, you know, you'd think when you play a C string, what note do you hear? You hear C, but actually how the sound is produced, there's clusters of different frequencies, with the strongest one being the note that it is. So when you play a C string on a ukulele, you hear all sorts of different frequencies, but the chief one is C. So my ears are, I'm not always sensitive to everything, but with nylon strings, I often hear undertones which make them sound a little bit like they're flat. They're not flat when you check with a tuner, but perhaps there's a stronger undertone which is quite close to the main note, the principal note that you're playing. That's my theory. I've no idea. I'm not a physicist, but so this one has a much warmer tone, in part due to the solid acacia, and in part because of those nylon strings. So it's much warmer sounding. I'm a bright and cheerful person when it comes to sound, not in life. I'm a miserable git, but so it definitely has a different tone. So we'll have a quick listen to that, and then we'll get on with the side to sides. So I'm going to play these ukes back to back now, so it's pretty much the last you'll hear of me talking, and there'll be a little caption just to remind you which uke I'm playing. If you can't read captions, then just remember the order is the same each time, and that's the Uma UK15 ST, and then the Anui Nui UT10, the Kai KTI 700, the Uma UK20 ST, and the Kai KTI 5000. I'm quite pressed that I managed to remember that. So it'll be the same order each time, and I'll just play something very short to begin with, and then each uke back to back, and then something a little bit longer later on. So I'll start with the UK15 ST. So that was a look at 5 different tenor ukuleles with a reasonable price tag and either all solid or solid top. If you could let me know in the comments below if you thought you had a favourite. I've really struggled to choose one. I think things stood out to me in different ways for different little pieces, different styles, but maybe if you have a predominant style, it might help you to have had a bit of a mixed bag of little tunes there. If you can, let me know a particular favourite if you have one, then that would be really helpful for me. It's good to see which way people are leaning towards and what's going to be popular, so that would be really handy. Do subscribe to the World of Ukes YouTube channel. I think close to 600 videos now. Some of them a little bit longer like this, plenty of single instrument demos as well, and a few instructional things also. So if you could subscribe to that, that would be great. And I'll just leave you with the fact that although I'm often here on my own at World of Ukes, but thankfully I've got just I've got an army of helpers who've been feeding me these ukes so I can sit comfortably, and I haven't just stood up and grabbed one about 70 times in a row. That didn't happen at all. Anyway, see you later, and thanks for watching.
Worldofukes.co.uk. Worldofukes.co.uk.